Today we are looking at three of my peace dollars, and we're going to talk a little bit about them. We have two 1923s and a 25, right? 23 and a 25. So I'm going to say this one is in fine condition. Very good condition. And fine condition. They're pretty. They. Let's see. I'm going to compare. I have a Morgan here. Let's compare it in size to each other. To a Morgan. They're the same size. They're the same size. And how about to Silver Eagle? No, I mean a contemporary Silver Eagle, 1992. All the new Silver Eagles are the same size because they all fit in the same tube, and at different years still fit in the same tube. So I'm going to say they're all the same size, even though I didn't measure them. But today's Silver Eagles are, you can see, I'm going to say considerably wider than a peace dollar and a Morgan dollar. With that said, then that means they must be thinner. The peace dollar was made between 1921 and 1935. On the obverse, we have, now, let me ask you, do you know who this is? I had I had no idea who this is, is on the obverse of the peace dollar. I know, you know what? I didn't know who. Yes, I mean, I know who this is. Lady Liberty on the Morgan, and on a lot of the other coins, it's Lady Liberty, and who they're modeled after is what changes from coin to coin. This is not Lady Liberty, and it's interesting, and they don't look alike. This is a plump, I don't know, woman. Let's just put it like that. This is a very fit female. This is the Liberty Goddess. And she doesn't wear a cap. Um, she doesn't wear a bandana. She doesn't wear, she wears a sun ray tiara. A tiara with sun, like a goddess would, or a headband with sun rays shooting out of it. So this is the goddess of liberty, not a mortal woman. I didn't know that. I'm, I mean, it could be. I'm sure it's modeled after someone. I didn't do that research. If I find it, I will mention it. I'm assuming it's modeled after someone. And on the back, we have a bald eagle on the top of a mountain. This one here, as long as I'm just showing, this one here is it's an S. Now, when I saw this was an S, I thought it was a big deal. You can see the ray going straight through the. You see it going through the N and the one, like a trail. And also this coin has a few minor mint errors, and it also has somewhere right there in the L, the second L. That's a really cool mint error. You could tell it's very deliberate from a machining. Anyway, the S does not add value. I checked. Liberty dollars, excuse me, peace dollars in this condition are about $40 ish. They also started making peace dollars again in um, 2021. It was the 100th anniversary for the peace dollar, and you can still buy them today. Most of them, what I noticed on eBay was that they are. It says that it's like a collector's edition, like the coins you buy if you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning on those info commercials. It doesn't look like they were made really for like mass circulation. They're very limited in the amounts, and they're kind of expensive. Most of them are graded, and the cheapest one I saw was like $50. So the new peace dollar cost more than the 100-year-old silver dollar. I don't know, that something doesn't make sense about that to me. Maybe it's just my old brain or what have you. But again, that just doesn't. I would think that the new ones would be a little bit over spot, and then the older ones would be has some sort of intrinsic collector's value. But that's not the case at this point in time. So on the back, on the reverse, is it the reverse? Yes, on the reverse. I believe those it's an olive branch. That is what the eagle is holding, is an olive branch. So the peace dollar is made out of 90% silver, 10% copper. So is the Morgan, I believe, and the new. This isn't, and the new peace dollar, the which I do not have one. The new peace dollar, 2021 and newer, is 0.999 silver. So that's another difference between this peace dollar and the original 100-year-old peace dollar. Let's see. Anything else interesting? So they stopped making the peace dollar 1935. And then, of course, they said they started making it again from 2021 to present. That's the Goddess Liberty. It's a nice coin. You could really, I mean, they're a troy ounce. And you could really imagine having to walk around with something like this to buy something. I mean, you really knew you had the money in your pocket, man. This is hard to miss, and I'm sure if it fell, you really sound money, right? You really heard this thing fall. Yeah, you can see this is nice. You can see the feathers and the eagle, how majestic, right? With the rays from the sun coming up, and then on the other side, the goddess. So, and if you notice, it says, "In God we trivest, TRVST." Now, of course, that's trust. I'm being facetious. So TR, but it is a V. So why is it a V and it's not a U? Well, I did a little bit of research on it, and I couldn't find a definitive answer why that's a V and not a U. There were several points in history where several different cultures used a V instead of a U, today's U. One of them was the Gnostics, right? Is that what they're called? The Gnostics? The Gnostics from like 1,000 years ago, and they wrote the V. The Vikings, I guess, they wrote the V instead of a U. That sounded like a U, but was a V. And so in Latin, the V was a U. And so for basically the whole world, and Greek, I believe, is it Greek? Some other place around the Mediterranean, the V was the U. So basically, the whole world used a V instead of a U, and then it only became a U like a couple hundred years ago. 17, something about France and the 17th century, and then the V became a U or something like that. Oh, and also the Romans used a V and not a U, and in buildings they use a V. Um, like in architecture, when they write stuff, they use V's instead of U. So it's antiquity. The V instead of a U, and it's really only in recent history, I'm saying that we start to use a U. But for some reason, when they when they made this coin, they really want to have that, you know, where you have a goddess, right? I mean, this is 1925. This isn't uh 1125, where we're pagans, and you know what I mean. Of course, there's Christians and all that. I mean, first of all, goddess right there, it's pagan. It's not Christian. Um, so the whole concept of this coin is really kind of kind of unique, right? You have a goddess, you have that Roman, Latin, antiquity V there. So there's and they only made it for 14 years. So there was probably a lot of interesting history going on, or behind the scenes politically, with at that time of year. And you're talking about also, right? And then I don't know when the Great Depression ended, but it was during this time period. So a lot going on during this time period, and it's interesting how they have a goddess on the front, a a, a, a fit a fit female goddess. Okay, so that's my 2 cents, and from what I saw online, and very interesting. And I will see you on the next one.